Imagine you are walking down the street, suddenly your legs started twitching, you try to stop but you can't. Your body just will not listen to your mind and now you are dancing. And you can't stop, you dance for a 1 day, then 2 days, then an entire week. Your feet are bleeding, your legs are screaming in pain but your body keep moving. Now imagine the same thing in happening to 400 other people in your city and some of them are dying because of it. This is not horror movie, this is exactly happened. This is the story of the dancing plague of 1518. Before we talk about the dance, we need to talk about the pain. The city was Strasbourg at the time. It was a part of the Holy Roman Empire, which is modern day France today. The year was 1518 and life was really hard. Right before the dancing started, there were terrible famine and in around Strasbourg, people didn't have enough food. On top of that, diseases like smallpox and syphilis were spreading everywhere. The weather was also crazy, extreme cold followed by extreme heat, which meant crops failed and people starved. People were scared, they were hungry and they were looking for answers. They wanted to know why God was punishing them. This fear, this extreme stress, this was very important because this fear is what might have started everything. On July 14, 1518, a woman named Frau Trophy stepped out of her house in Strasbourg and she just started dancing. There was no music playing, there was no celebration, nobody was clapping. She was just a normal woman on the normal street, suddenly dancing like crazy. Her neighbors watched, they laughed, they thought she was being weird, they gave her a strange look and just walked away. But then an hour passed, then 2 hours, then 4 hours, she didn't stop. By evening, she collapsed from exhaustion, but the next morning she woke up and started dancing again. She didn't eat, she barely drank water, her feet were bleeding, but she could not stop. Within just 4 days, 34 more people joined her. Then in 1 week, over 30 people were dancing. And by the end of August, around 400 people in the city were dancing uncontrollably. It was like a virus, but there was no cough, no fever, just dancing. Just a strange, uncontrollable urge to move your body until you collapsed. The city leaders had no idea what was happening, so they called a physician. The physician looked at the dancing people and said, "It's simple, their blood is too hot, the only cure is more dancing." I'm not joking, they literally said, "Let them dance it out." So the city authorities built huge wooden stage in the marketplace. They hire professional dancers, they hire musicians with drums, pipes and fiddles. Their plan was to keep the people dancing until the bad energy left their body. But guess what happened? Instead of getting better, more and more people joined and the dancers kept dancing until they died for the heart attack or stroke. Some chronicles at the time say that plague was killing around 50 people every single day and there was nothing anyone could do. The authorities had made the situation 100 times worse. Then the religious leaders stepped in. They said the dancers were cursed by Saint Vitus, a Catholic saint who had a power to curse people with dancing plague. So they took the dancers to the shrine on a mountain. They gave them small crosses and red shoes. They painted crosses on their shoes with holy oil and said prayer in Latin. And finally, in September 1518, the dancing stopped. The plague had lasted for almost 2 months. But the question remains, why did this happen? 3 main theories have been proposed. First one, mass hysteria. This is the most popular explanation. Historian John Waller says the people of Strasbourg were under extreme stress, famines, diseases, poverty. The human brain can only handle so much stress before it breaks. And when it breaks, it can manifest in strange ways, like a group of people all believing they are cursed to dance. Waller also says there was a local superstition about Saint Vitus. People believed if you anger Saint Vitus, he would curse you to dance until you die. So when the dancing started, people thought, oh no, the curse is real, I need to dance too or I will also get cursed. And this fear spread like a wildfire throughout the community. Second, there is ergot poisoning. Ergot is a fungus that grows on dry bread. Eating bread made from contaminated rye can cause hallucination, convulsion and muscle spasms, which can look like dancing. But the problem with this theory is the ergot poisoning also has other symptoms like vomiting and seizures, which the historical records do not mention. So most experts think this is not the full answer. Third theory is religious curse. At that time, many people genuinely believed that dancing plague were a punishment from God or a curse from Saint Vitus. And when you truly believe something, your mind can make it happen. This is why the pilgrims were sent to the shrine and why the dancing finally stopped when they reached there. This was not the first dancing plague in history, and it was not the last. Dozens of similar outbreaks happened all over Europe between the 14th and 17th century, but the dancing plague of 1518 was one of the biggest and best documented ones. What makes this story so scary is not just the dancing, it's the loss of control. It reminds us how fragile the human mind really is. Under enough stress, under enough fear, our own body can turn against us. We think we are in our control, but stories like this show us something we are not. If you enjoy this deep dive into one of historical strangest mystery, drop a like, subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comment what would you have done if you saw your neighbor dancing in the street unable to stop. I will see you in next one. Until then, stay curious.